Welcome to This Week with Old Sarge. This week, talking about them there loopholes. Loopholes are doggone important. Sometimes you can make use of them for the good of the outfit. Sometimes you find them and just put them in your back pocket. Hang on to it for a rainy day in case you ever need it. So last week talked about the old promotion system where I made SFC. After that, they started fine-tuning that brand new promotion system, trying to dial it in a little bit here and there. The result was senior troopers on the road getting the short end of the stick. That's wrong. These are the folks you're supposed to be promoting to supervise the doggone troopers on the squad at the road stations and at your doggone GP stations. So they were getting excluded, making it a little bit easier for some other folks that ain't been on the road in a long time to do a little lateral sneak over into a doggone leadership position. We all know what happens when somebody does a lateral over like that with no experience. They're doggone more of a hindrance than they are help. So now they'd publish out on these pieces of paper there 4 or 5 pages long about the new requirements if you want to put in to be a sergeant. So I took a look at that as an SFC, thinking about how I'm going to help my senior troopers, those doggone real good ones that need to be promoted. Future of the outfit. Got to get them started. So I took a long, hard look at that. And I was like, they keep putting things on here. You don't have permission in the computer. Those computer rights they put in there, where if you're at a certain level, you can't look at things above your level. Like a doggone layer cake. Doggone senior trooper stuck down at the bottom there. But they're putting doggone requirements on there at levels above that. Well, you have to have done this and you have to have done that. There's no way for them to do it because they don't have the doggone electronical permission inside the computer to go to that level. That's where a sneaky bastard comes in. Take a hard look at this thing. Start dissecting these doggone requirements. Start looking, figuring, plotting, trying to think, come up with a plan. All come down to you doggone quarterly scatter plots. Oh yeah, keep track of every doggone contact a trooper makes on the individual trooper level for the whole quarter, every quarter without fail. It's all right in there. How many stops they made, how many of this, how many of that, blah, blah, blah. More information than you knew what to do with. All kinds of crazy information they're tracking under the doggone microscope on the road. It's all right, you can deal with it if you're a real professional. So I take a look at this, and only sergeants are allowed to do these scatter plot deviations. You got somebody falls outside the average of their peers, whether it has to do with race or sex, whatever, and you got to do a little explaining there. Got to do some doggone investigating. Got to do some drilling down. Got to find out exactly why. Then you got to type up this big old report. You got to send it up troop headquarters. They go over with the doggone microscope looking at things. And, of course, everybody's got to change something. Why don't you move that paragraph, that number 3 paragraph to the number 2 paragraph spot and move paragraph 2 down. Gets to be a real joke after a while. It's usually very easy to figure out why these things happen. Got people going on vacations. People went out on sick leave. Therefore, their doggone average got all wackadooed from everybody else. Maybe they were training long term during that quarter, so everything goes wackadoo. Pretty easy to doggone figure out. Still got to write up this huge old report. But there's one exception. The trooper coach training a new trooper. They are on a non-ordinary patrol basis because you're trying to teach this new trooper something. Their doggone average is allowed to kind of fall outside everybody else's. Now, you still got to do a report, but you get to do a little mini short report, a little standardized paragraph. Cut and paste time. Easy to do. So before they change the doggone rights on the computers, we get these doggone new troopers in on the trooper coach program, I start handing out these things, call them 632s, start handing them out to all my senior troopers, said, here, type this block in there, print it out, sign it up, get it to me. You get credit for doing some heavy lifting on this doggone requirement to be a sergeant by doing this thing. Worked out pretty good. Got away with that for, I don't know, year and a half, 2 years. Doggone. People up at headquarters caught on to me, put the kibosh on it. But I still slipped a bunch of senior troopers in there ready to be doggone promoted by doing just that. Worked out real fine. That's what leaders supposed to do, supposed to find a way to help their folks that are deserving to be successful. Even the undeserving ones, you want to be successful, because that'll save you a lot of headache, but that ain't what we're talking about. Talking about taking care of those future leaders. The doggone outfit. And I done figured out a way, but they took it away. That's all right. That just means you got to redouble your efforts. Take a look. Find another way. And another way. And another way. Until they get real pissed off up at troop headquarters. And then you get transferred again. I've been transferred before. It's all right. Well, they're the ones that write up the doggone rules. If they don't like the way they're being done, well, they ought to write up better rules. So, shout out section this week. All my B troopers out there doing the JOB, we appreciate what you're doing. Doing it right the first time, every time, without fail. Appreciate what you're doing out there, so thank you. Thank you very much. You hold true to your doggone oath. Stand on that good ground. That's what you swore an oath to, not some politician. Military, we appreciate what you're doing out there, at home and overseas, keeping us safe. Standing that line, holding that post, doing what's got to be done. Swore the same oath. Got the same obligation. We appreciate what you're doing, so thank you. Thank you very much. You get a minute, hit that doggone subscribe button. Pound that doggone thumbs up key. Give her a share. Because me and Christmas Pig, we'll be looking for that next week. So on behalf of both of us, bye now.